All right, let's go in sequence, right? Datasphere, right?
Yeah, big announcement in the data and the analytics space. I was waiting for that for years because, to be honest, I had a bit the feeling that they just let it go somehow. So at least for 4 years, I think. I changed to product management last year, but before I was in consulting, and there I experienced a lot that customers were moving. Started with the front end stuff to Power BI and other. So-called BI self-service tools. And then I also recognized in the whole cloud data tooling and service stuff, Azure did a very good job. Snowflake did a very good job, and there was some offering talking about data intelligence, but for me there was the pricing wrong, and it was not promoted very good. So the entry price was already very high, very enterprisey, and I think customers didn't expect that or didn't want to go that way at that point in time. And now there we have Datasphere, which is built on top of Data Warehouse Cloud, rebundling of some existing products and services like data intelligence and more services to come, if I got it right. And I think the most interesting part was that they are partnering with, in some spaces, especially in the AI space and stuff like that, with, I think, in total 5 partners.
Yeah, prominent partners in the space. I totally agree with you. It's good to see SAP doing more, talking more about the underlying technology. And data is, of course, I mean, it's a dead-beaten horse, right? Data is the new oil. People were saying for industries like 10, 15 years ago. I mean, it's great to see some momentum with SAP. I agree, it's lots of repackaging and reusing and building on top of that. It's the foundation for business data fabric, right? So as everybody's talking about data fabric and elements of that, but so it's good to see the innovation, it's good to see the attention, it's good to see the marketing. It's important for customers to be aware how good is the underlying SAP data infrastructure below it. On the concern side, right, I mean, good to see the partnerships. Let's stay on the positive first, right? SAP can't build it all along, right, which we know, right? There's not enough developers, so it's good for them to add capabilities from that perspective through partners. That's the right way to do it. My concern remains there's no big data capability from their side, that they don't have that, what I call infinite data insights, to allow for companies to store all the information without knowing where to do it, how to analyze it. So that is key, and that's still missing. And I don't know how you're going to do anything around machine learning and AI from that. And then talking about the elephant in the room, which is of course machine learning and AI, nothing specific on that front, which is interesting. A welcome break, right, in this crazy Q1 about all being out with ChatGPT and Microsoft haunting the whole industry. Moving forward, to have that as not mentioned. But I think there has to be a clear roadmap towards it, and that's something I think they have to fix on the product side and the messaging side around Datasphere.
Yeah, I agree that it's an interesting thing that it's not a big AI announcement, but seeing all the recent service changes on BTP, I think it makes sense. SAP is concentrating more on their core things where they are good in, and so far all this AI stuff they developed didn't get the traction they were hoping for, I think. Seeing now they deprecated the chatbot voice processing or speech processing service, and on DSHG technology days they were speaking more on integrating the Azure or Microsoft AI services as well. So I think that's way forward. Of course, for my understanding, there are still some models which they train on their own, but I think they are not going to develop models. So just my takeaway.
Yeah, I think it's a step-by-step process from SAP getting into the AI world. I'm a little concerned it's very, very slow. Right, the SAP has been hampered like everybody else who doesn't fully operate in the public cloud to say, all right, which data can we get from the customers? How do we make sure the customers are worried about this? Then, of course, we put in the cloud, we model it, we figure out some analytics originally, some machine learning, some algorithm inside. Then we put it back. The whole thing is federated AI. I'm not sure if that's the right approach because it's very, very slow in the current world of business, and you have to be faster from that perspective. But the good news is, all the AI vendors who don't operate in the public cloud, let's go down to the list, right, have that issue, right? So Workday has a similar issue. From that perspective, we can go down. It's going to be super interesting to see what Microsoft Dynamics is going to be doing. They've been very, very slow from that perspective doing stuff there. Google doesn't have one, right? Oracle is building AI capabilities right there in the cloud, but it's a good example if you run on your own cloud and you don't have the right chips. They're partnering with NVIDIA like Microsoft too. You have to create that infrastructure to have that set up, right? So it's going to be interesting how that will pan out, but I think it's going to be important to add the AI story and strengthen the AI story for SAP. But to sum it up, right, good to see the attention, good to see the movement. It's always going to be about recycling and making existing stuff better. The question now is what's the direction towards KI, right, künstliche Intelligenz, AI future, which definitely affects business applications, right? I mean, SAP and probably at Sapphire will have to come up with some ChatGPT demos, I think. We'll see.
Yeah, indeed. And I agree with you. The rebundling is not a bad thing in general. I think customers love or like to see if a new announcement doesn't mean migration of anything they already have, and complete also in regards of know-how and stuff like that. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. But a bit like with SAP Build, which they announced at TechEd, it's also a lot of announcement, and I think for the full-blown services, customers need to wait a while.
That's a great point. I would love to have seen how Datasphere and Build work together, right? Because it's all about empowering people to get to the data, and when they get to the data, they have to build applications, and we know there's not enough developers. So I missed that connection. I haven't seen that. So maybe another thing for Sapphire.
Yeah. I think at least the build roadmap might be already pretty full, but we will see.
I'm sure, but I'm pretty sure when they announced Build, they knew about Datasphere already. So that's the art of product strategy.